All right, let's dive into a wild idea. What if I told you that you, yes, you, might just be the center of the entire universe? Now, to see what I mean, we're going to go on a journey of scale, starting right here with us and looking out to the biggest things imaginable, and then inwards to the tiniest. Let's get started.
I mean, it's a huge question, right? It sounds kind of arrogant, doesn't it? But what if it's literally true, in a way that's all about math and scale? What if you were the perfect halfway point between the impossibly small and the mind-bogglingly large?
So, here's the plan. Every time we take a step up to something bigger than us, we're going to take a matching step down to something smaller. And we're just going to see if we as humans somehow manage to stay perfectly balanced right there in the middle.
Okay, let's start with something super simple. Picture a normal 3-story building. Got it? Okay. Now picture a squirrel you might see in the park. One is way up there, the other is scurrying way down there. Both are things we see all the time.
And this is where it gets cool. That building is about 6 times taller than you are. And guess what? You are about 6 times taller than that squirrel. See that? It's a perfect, neat little symmetry. You're smack dab in the middle.
Let's try another one. This time, let's take 2 amazing flyers. First, an A320 jet. You know, this incredible piece of machinery that flies us across oceans. And on the other end, a tiny Rufous hummingbird. A little guy that somehow flies all the way from Alaska down to Mexico.
And would you look at that? The math works out again. The A32 jet is about 23 times longer than you are tall, and you are 23 times taller than the hummingbird. The pattern holds up. We're the midpoint between these 2 epic travelers.
And just to give you an idea of how powerful that tiny bird is, get this. If a hummingbird were as big as that jet, its metabolism is so insane it could circle the entire planet 85 times a year. That's the kind of power we're talking about, packed into that tiny frame.
So you're starting to see the theme here, right? This pattern just keeps showing up. As we go bigger and smaller, we keep finding ourselves, human beings, right at that central point. And trust me, we're just getting warmed up.
All right, let's stretch this a little bit to the very edge of what you can really see and experience. On the massive side, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building on Earth. And on the tiny side, a single coarse grain of sand that you can just barely see on your fingertip.
The Burj Khalifa is roughly 500 times taller than you. And yep, a grain of sand is about 500 times smaller. Here's a way to think about it. If you suddenly became as tall as that skyscraper, a normal person would look as tiny to you as a grain of sand does right now. The scale is getting wild, but the math still puts us right in the middle.
Now, let's switch from just size to complexity. Look at this. On one side, you have the road network of a whole city. On the other, the network of arteries and veins in your own body. The patterns, they're just eerily similar, aren't they? And the scale factor. A city is about 6,000 times larger than you are, while your smaller arteries are about 6,000 times smaller.
It gets even crazier. The tiniest water pipes that serve a city are at the same scale for the city as your tiniest capillaries are to you. And this similarity brings up a really deep question. Your red blood cells are as small to you as you are to the entire sprawling Tokyo metro area. So, what are you? Are you an individual? Or are you just one tiny cell in this huge living thing we call civilization? Or, somehow, are you both? And no matter how deep and philosophical that question gets, one thing stays constant: the math. Between the scale of our entire civilization and the scale of our own living cells, there you are, right in the middle. Now we're about to take some truly giant leaps. The entire country of Germany, it's about 550,000 times larger than you. At the same time, the rhizobia bacteria that German farms absolutely depend on for their soil are, you guessed it, 550,000 times smaller. And the pattern keeps going, all the way up to the scale of our entire planet. The symmetry is just staggering. Okay, seriously, prepare for your brain to hurt a little bit on this one. On one side, the planet Jupiter, this colossal gas giant that could swallow Earth without even noticing. And on the other side, the tiny spike proteins on a single coronavirus, the microscopic little tools it uses to break into our cells. And you are right in the middle. To really get what a mismatch this is, think about it like this. A virus using that teeny tiny protein to attack one of your lung cells is like you trying to take down a giant the size of the Burj Khalifa, armed with nothing but a screwdriver. It seems completely impossible. So what about the bosses of their systems? Well, the sun, the boss of our whole solar system, is 1 billion times larger than you. And the boss of your body? The strand of DNA that codes for everything you are, and it is 1 billion times smaller than you. Even here, between these ultimate sources of life and energy, you are the midpoint.
1 billion is already a number that's basically impossible to actually picture in your head. But from this point on, we're going into a territory where the numbers become almost meaningless. We're talking trillions, quadrillions, words that don't really connect to anything real.
I mean, just look at these numbers. Our whole solar system is trillions of times bigger than us. But a single proton inside one of your atoms is a quadrillion times smaller. The distance to the next closest star is even bigger. And our galaxy? It's a sextillion times larger than you. And yet somehow, we are still floating somewhere in that cosmic middle. And when we get this small, things just get weird. A quark, a fundamental building block of matter, isn't some tiny little ball. It's more like a ripple in an ocean of pure energy, an ocean where particles and their opposites are blinking into and out of existence constantly. The truth is, any picture we try to draw of this is just wrong. Nobody really knows what a quark looks like. Which brings us to the very, very edge, the last comparison. The entire observable universe is as big compared to you as you are to a single proton that's been squashed into a pancake because it's traveling near the speed of light. That is the grandest, most mind-bending symmetry of all. So, after this unbelievable trip up and down the ladder of reality, we end up right back where we started. The universe, with all its unimaginable vastness and its impossibly tiny parts, seems to be perfectly balanced. And you're the balancing point. You're the center.
So what do you do with that? Standing there, in the middle of everything, between the whole universe and a single proton, between a cosmos so huge our entire history is a blink of an eye, and a quantum world so small you can never even see it. Does knowing you're in the middle make you feel insignificant? Or does it make you feel profoundly important?